With the team, we finished the month of January with a clean 6% profit using our mechanical strategies. I'm very transparent in the Discord. I share every day and every month all the trades that fit our mechanical rules, and I make the total for each month. And today I will cover one of those trades and also something that's been very helpful to my trading lately. Hopefully you can learn a thing or two in this video. And as always, if you like this type of videos, just please give me a subscribe and share the video with someone who you think might find this helpful. Alright, let me put some music and let's start. Alright, so this should happen at the end of January. This is around the time where we start getting back into the market. I don't usually like to trade the first half of January, but around the second half or even the start of February, I start getting to the chart and see if some trades are happening. So let me start by putting my levels. We have here yesterday's high. We have also yesterday's low right there. However, because it's already being swept, I don't usually leave the level right here because it will just be distracting to me. And let's just cover what happened actually. This was during the London session, you see. So we went during the Asian session, which is around this time right there. Let me put at the same time the high of the Asian range so you can have a better idea. Let me just cover this. This is not about the trade that we're going to cover, but I feel like I can maybe share some things useful here, especially for the London traders. Alright, so we have the Asian range, right? I also have a video about the indicator that you can set up to see the Asian range automatically, but I don't have it here. And then right before the London session, we created this fake out right there. So people would think this here is a double top, right? So people would just start selling right there. They would put their stop in here, stop loss here, take profit here. So depending on where you've put your TP, maybe some people actually got a good trade right there. But this was actually some manipulation. This is done to engineer liquidity. So a lot of people who enter at this point, maybe put their stop loss at break even, or maybe take some partials and leave their stop loss here. And what happened? We took out this low right there. We had a nice push. Let me remove that for the time being. We had a nice push. We took out this high right there. And what do we have here? Nice fair value gap. So this is actually a great trade right there, just using the yesterday's low. And then you can see that the real push actually happened after taking out this low. So this was just engineering liquidity for people to sell here, put their stop losses here, and then we went directly to take out this level. But anyway, as I was saying, because this level was already swept during the London session, this is not something I'm interested to trade. I trade out of untouched level. So also the Asian range high, which is this point here, because it's already being swept before my session, I'm not going to use it. So I have the yesterday's high, which is interesting. I also have the 2 days low, which is the lowest point from midnight to the current time I'm on the chart. This is the 2 days low right here. I can also put the 2 days high, which are a very important level. And the 2 level I'm going to talk about today, and it's been very, very helpful to me in my trading, the New York midnight open. So you need to have your chart set to New York time. Let me show you. You need to have your chart set to New York time, and a lot of people are asking me, what about daylight savings? And what's great is that on TradingView or even here on FX Replay, they're going to automatically change it for you. So you don't need to worry about that. You can also make sure that your indicators are also set correctly when this happens, but for the chart themselves, this is done automatically. And then I also have the 8:30 open. And why those levels are important, I'm going to explain that to you right now. It's because they serve as a reference point. So usually what you like to do is buy below this New York open, because the hypothesis is that buying below those 2 points is giving you a good price. So let's say you're expecting price to go up using a bias. We've been using a mechanical bias in the Discord. So using our mechanical bias, we have, for example, on this day, it was bullish. You can also guess it yourself. You can see that the real push that happened here is clearly bullish. So you're expecting price to continue up, right? But when is a good time to buy? Well, using those 2 points, you can say, well, I'm going to expect price to come to this point, which is below the 8:30 and the 12 a.m. open, and then go back up. So those 2 points are very, very useful, especially if you combine that with a sweep of liquidity. Let's say you can see here that we have this clear low right there, or even this one. So you could say, well, I'm expecting price to sweep this level, have a reaction. We're also below New York open and the 8:30 open, and this is around a good price to continue the buying. But me personally, and this is what we've been doing, I'm trading out objective levels that are very easy to see on the chart and very easy to teach also. Every day, they're the same. So what I would like to see today is to have a sweep of 2 days low and then a continuation up. And let's see. As always, I won't be trading around the 9:30 open. So even if we sweep the level and we're around 9:30, I'm not going to take the trade. I have a very specific no trading window around this time. By the way, if you're interested to join Darwinex Zero, which I think every trader should join, I got you a code saving you $100 on the first month, but it's only for the first 100 users. I gave it in one of my other videos and many people already used it, but I think it's still valid now. You can try it to make sure. Alright, let's continue. Alright, so you can see here on the 9:30 open, we went directly to sweep this level. This includes also sweeping all of those levels right there. Let's see if we stopped somewhere. Let me see if I have an order block somewhere. This is not very important, but I just wanted to cover here. I'm just trying to provide as much value as possible. No, I don't see something significant. All right, let's drop down on the 1 minute and see what happened. So beautiful reaction right here. And what do we have here? Clean fair value gap. Let me also calculate the displacement on this move. This is something I like to do a lot. Something above 600, which is very nice. This is very significant, right? Some people in the Discord also pointed to me that they've been studying using the percentage because some days are more volatile than others. So instead of using this specific unit in here, they're just using the percentage, which is based on price action before that. So I think that's pretty smart also. It's very universal. That way you can also apply that to different instruments. All right, so we just took out slightly this high right there. We also have a high in here. This is not very significant. I would prefer to see this one taking out, but I'm pretty used to those type of moves. So this is pretty good. Let's just go with 35 for the stop loss. And then something for around the 1 to 3. So this is giving 2.32. I need at least a 2.5. Let me see, because I don't like the fact that my 2.5 is above this level. I would prefer to have my take profit below. But what I'm seeing here is that this is also something we've been using, is that you can see that the opening of the fair value gap is above the 50% fib, right? So something you can do, and this is something I've been studying a lot in my journal also, is when this is the case, we usually see a comeback to at least the 61, or even sometimes it comes back to the 78. So this is something you can also use. I use that when I see that my take profit and stop loss doesn't really make sense, just like in this case. You can now see that using the 61.8, I'm able to get a 1 to 3 before reaching this level, instead of having my take profit after the level. There's also one risk, is that maybe I won't get tagged in this trade. And this happened, I think, 2 times last quarter for me. So that's also a risk that you're taking by using this method. All right, let me just put back the fair value gap so we can compare. All right, so let's just study what happens. Let me put the trade now. All right, you saw that we just created another high, so I'm going to move to get the entire leg, because if you go, for example, on the 5 minute, this is just one leg, right? So this is why I'm going to move my fib there, and I'm also going to move my take profit. Let me just make sure that we stop. All right, so it seems like we're coming back, so I'm going to just redo my take profit and stop loss. So you can see here, I'm very transparent. I'm just doing what I would usually do in my own trading. So yeah, this is looking good. 2.7, which is alright. Alright, so it took some time and we finally got to it. Something I was also being wary of is that at what time this happened, because after a certain time, especially for this specific strategy that we call the London Hot in the Discord, I have no execution time after a certain time, so I was ready to cancel the trade. But since this happened before this time at around 10:23, I'm alright with the trade. Alright, so we're tagged in. Let's see the reaction now. And finally take profit. So this is very rare that I hold a trade as long as that. And as I explained in many of my videos, I usually manually close my trade at around 4 p.m. just to not get into the volatility of the closing time. Let's see if we finally reach this level also. But you can also see the reason why I never go break even when I'm trading. Yeah, you see, we even went for a 3.6, even almost 4. But you can see here that some people around this time would just start to stress a little bit. They would see their profit go up and down. You would be in this case at around 1% profit, and then it would just come back down. And a lot of people would just go break even at this point. And in this case, you would just get swept. And your analysis is still good. My bias was still alright. Everything was still to plan. So I had no reason to go break even at this point. Unless this is part of your trading plan and you have data to prove that to you, then that's alright, just go break even. But in my own case, I don't go break even. So beautiful trade. In this following video, I went over something that nobody on YouTube is teaching, at least to my knowledge, and it's being super helpful to me in my trading. Alright, see you there.